Hello everybody, my name is Infiniti and today I am back with another Sentro knitting machine video. I will preface this video by saying that it is not a tutorial. It is simply a guide, and I will be posting this video also under the general list of yarns that do or do not work with the Sentro knitting machine, which is a blog post on my website. So if you want to support the channel and check that out, you can. It's totally free. And I'll leave that link in the description box below. Before we get into today's video, I do have a message for you all, and once that's over, we'll dive right in. This video is brought to you by my supporters over at Craftpreneur. Craftpreneur is my monthly pattern club, which includes my knitting, crochet, and Sentro knitting machine designs. Each month, members are given access to at least 2 of these designs, as they are either added to the library or updated, and they will have continual access to my entire written/video pattern library for as long as they are members. Membership also gives you the title of Super Crafty, because that's what you are. Members are also given complimentary access to most of my crochet or knitting courses that are published on the website. For example, I recently published a step-by-step crochet course which will walk you through all the terminology, discussions about gauge, and the actual mechanics of the craft. It is a self-paced course that is usually purchased individually, but because you are monthly or quarterly supporters, you get access to it totally free as long as you're signed up for the club. The support I get from Craftpreneur allows me to continue to operate this channel and publish the tutorial content that you've come to know and love. So, if you want to support me and make cool stuff, as I'm sure you've seen under the community tab here, then consider heading over and signing up today after the end of this tutorial. Alright, let's dive into the instruction. Alright, probably since I started doing these videos 3-4 years ago now, I have been asked the same question across many platforms, and unanimously, infamously, Red Heart Super Saver does not work in this machine. Now, there are people who have come up with their various different hacks, but consistently, without jumping through hoops and going through all different types of hassles, the yarn just doesn't like the Sentro of any size. I have tried it on the 22, the 32, the 48. I don't have the 40, but you know, anyway, it doesn't work. So today and going forward, I wanted to introduce some yarns that may work in the machine. Some of these I know work in the machine, like the next episode after this one, I know that yarn works in this machine, so a little foreshadowing there. But today I want to test this out. Now, I bought this yarn for a sweater, and I'm going to sacrifice it to this machine, but it's fine because I can roll it back into a ball anywho. So I'm just going to find the center pull real quick. Alright, now that I have somewhat dealt with the yarn barf, I will talk about this yarn. It is Big Twist Value yarn, and it comes from Joann Fabric. It's their store brand equivalent of a Red Heart yarn. It has 380 yards per skein, or 347 meters, and it is a 4 medium weight yarn. They recommend a 5mm crochet hook. And you all know, if you've watched my videos in the past, I don't typically like using that kind of yarn in my machine, but it looked promising enough, this particular color, so we're gonna try that out. So I'm just gonna cast on as normal. If you are looking for Sentro knitting machine tutorials, mine are some of the first and some of the most popular. If you want to check them out, people really seem to like them, and that is all in a playlist on my channel, so you can head over there after this video is over and check that out. Gotta find the beginning. There we go. Just gonna drop some yarn down in there. And we're gonna get cast on. I'm going to pop this into the loosest tension because I value the gears in my machine. And now we are going to start cranking. So this is kind of promising, I think. I don't want to speak too soon. So this is looking pretty decent, I want to say, first and foremost. Also, I forgot to tell you guys the color of this yarn. It's called olive drab. So usually you want to crank at least 10 rows with yarns, and after that 10 rows, if there's no drops or tucks or anything of that nature, then you're good, as a general rule of thumb. And so I have no dropping, tucking, or sticking, or grinding, or any of that going on. And the fabric that's knitted up with this yarn feels slightly thinner than what you would feel with a Red Heart Super Saver yarn, but you still get that spongy quality that you're looking for from an acrylic yarn out of this. So I want to pull this off the machine real quick. So I'm going to find the beginning of my row and crank I want to crank a row without yarn. Now this is pretty good. I didn't truly expect it to work. It felt good, but that's not always the greatest indication of whether or not it works. This is why I do these videos, so you guys don't have to sacrifice your machine. Okay, and we're just gonna crank, 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 crank. And boop. All right. And let me get in close for you guys so you can see what's going on. Okay, look at it. This is actually quite exciting. So this yarn naturally is great for beanies, and because it's spongy like your typical 4-weight worsted acrylic, the fabric feels substantial. So all in all, it did in fact work on the Sentro knitting machine. This is about the stretch you can expect from this yarn. Knit at the loosest tension. I feel like with this yarn you shouldn't go beyond the middle tension hole, just as a general rule of thumb, because it is a 4-weight yarn, 4-ply, and thicker yarns in the machine are hit or miss as it is, and we were lucky to find that this is a success. So does Joann's True Value, or not True Value, does Joann's Big Twist value yarn work in the Sentro knitting machine? Yes, yes it does. I sincerely hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, first of all, thank you for making it to the end of this video. Please hit the like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on future Sentro knitting machine videos. Sometimes I post these, sometimes I post actual tutorials on this channel these days. On Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. CST, I also teach crochet and knitting, so if you are into any of that, I also have those going on various days of the week as well. And if you really, 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 really like my content, then again, I do ask that you consider heading over to my website today and signing up for Hey Craftpreneur. That's the only way I'm able to continue producing these tutorials, and it would mean the world to me if you supported my career. Alright? Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy making.